Hey, real quick, here are some really quick differences you'll notice when you start working in audio in Adobe Premiere. The first is that you've got this mixer now. So each of these channels is not just a holder place for audio regions, right? So like in Final Cut, any processing you did was always tied to an audio region. You can still do that here in Premiere. If I double click on this region, it brings it up here, and I can go over to Effects, Controls, and I can drag effects up here. I could bring an EQ in. That's fine. That will be tied to only that clip. But I also have one level up from that, basically. And this clip living on Audio 1, you can see over here on Audio 1, we actually have a fader. So, for instance, if you had a music bed, you can set your fader on that channel. In this case, we're on A2 over here. You see A2 corresponds. So we can set that fader wherever you want so that your music bed, anything you drag onto that channel will sit at that volume. And then you can adjust volumes on a clip-by-clip basis or put them on new tracks that are different volumes. So there's a little less keyframe manipulation. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. You've got pan per track. So that allows you to easily just, if you're going to put things left and right, that's really handy for sound effects. If you've got something on screen where someone's jumping in a pool and it's on the left-hand side of the screen, you can use your pan and put it over there. You also have access to effects on those tracks. So this is what I had showed you originally here, where I threw an EQ on this clip. You can put an effect on an entire track. An effect you might use might be an EQ. You might put a reverb on a bunch of sound effects to make them sound like they're in a canyon, or if they're coming from very far away. You don't have to do it clip by clip. And the great thing about that is if you have a reverb or some sort of effect that's time-based, the sound doesn't end at the end of the clip. It'll ring out past the clip because it's on a track here. It's sort of living. You could think of it if it's a sequence. It's living at a higher. It's got all those clips and sounds going through it, and it's putting out sound itself. So that is handy. You've also got your master level, master fader volume control here. I've got this down at -4 just because for recording here, it balances my voice better, but normally you'd want to keep that at 0. Something you can do then very easily is you can add a limiter here, and that will keep you from clipping. So you can set this up, and I could do a whole video about this, but this basically says if you throw this on here, your audio will not go past 0. So even if I bump this up, this channel, my main level did not clip. The limiter was holding it down. And then the final thing that's really important is when you go to export and under effects, we click on loudness, and then we use the following settings. We switch it to ITU BS.1770-3. We set this to -14. We set our tolerance to 0. And we set our max true peak level to -1. And the rest of the things we can leave alone. And you can save that as well. You can go save preset, and then that will be ready every time you export a video. And by doing that, that solves the worry about a video not being loud enough or being too loud. You're just right there at the standard that YouTube or other internet video streaming sites would expect. So it's a lot less hassle. And yeah, there's export. So those are the big differences and big advantages that I wanted to share. So thanks for listening.